Love it. I love it. I love it.
This broadcast is live. Yes, it is. We are live and we are alive today. So this is great. I love having this on a Friday afternoon. Isn't that just kind of like a cool time just to talk about friendship, talk about friendship, talk about fun, talk about the weekend. And this weekend, well, this is the weekend before Easter, so the next weekend will be the 4th will be Easter, but this is the last weekend in March. It's now spring. The weather is beautiful here in Texas.
Well, and this weekend we have the Authorology Gala.
Oh, that's right.
Saturday night, we're all going to be partying. I already picked out my tiara because, you know.
Oh, a tiara. Yes, I have a tiara left from when I had one for you. Something else that you did, Fern.
Yes. Yep. You never wear tiaras.
So another thing that's going on this weekend. Another thing that's going on this weekend is in Dallas. They're having the Dallas Literary Festival. And I love this is what friendship has done for me a lot, especially in the last few years. But they contacted me to ask me to be on a panel. And Amy, you'll love this. They asked me to be the one that does the Zoom controls. And I'm like,
no, they didn't.
You are online, you're live all the time, so we know you're the right one to do it. I have Amy on with me all the time. That's what I do. So I had to go this little training this week on how to do it, just in case. But I did pick up a few little tips from the training, so that was cool. But anyway, this weekend is the Dallas Literary Festival, and I'm on a panel called Ghostwriting and Marketing. So extra things that are in part of the whole publishing process. And the reason they even, I'm like, because it's put on by SMU, which I have never gone to SMU and don't know anyone that did. But one of our former clients, one of our ex-clients, which is what we're going to talk about today, is exes, Samaya Davis. I mean, and we only worked with her just for her book launch, and then that was it. And she recommended me for this panel. And it's just fun. I mean, it's fun. I've had a great time with the practice sessions and all this stuff going on. So, but
they have practice sessions. They're like with it.
Well, yes, they have been very good.
Wing it.
And the person that did the training, oh my gosh, she was like a head of something control at SMU, and I'm like, good. So anyway, so we were going to talk exes today, and I was going to say something, and it just went right out of my mind. Something I was going to say about this week. Oh, authorology. So how does somebody? Is Authorology Gala open to people?
Yes, you can come and have fun with us. So authorology.org, right, on the website. If you go to the gala page, there is the link to join. It is not active right now. It'll be active on Saturday. You know, and so you just click on the link right there from the website.
So do you need to register ahead of time or anything?
Nope. Just hop on and come party. You know, it's just a party time. You know,
well, they're having a silent auction too, and they have some fantastic books. The Houston Writers Guild donated a pitch session, and you can come to their conference in June. So there's some really cool things. I'm like, man, this is awesome. So the silent auction is going to be pretty amazing.
Oh yes, and we're releasing the Authorology contest anthology, and we're announcing the winners. And these poor people have been waiting to find out which one of them is in first place, second place, third place, since I don't even know when. Poor people. since
So
the
how many people will be in the anthology? How many stories?
we had 5 stories that made it. I mean, the judges were really rather tough, I gotta say. I was like, okay, I would have maybe let this one in, but but they were tough. And so we got 5 really amazing stories, and we worked with them, to do the revisions and stuff to make them even more deep and powerful. So it's going to be really fun. And some very wonderful, some very this is the first time that some of them are getting published. So it's a very exciting evening, and they're going to get their medal and all of that good stuff. I mean, it's going to be just a lot of fun.
What time is it?
It starts at 7 and it goes through 9, and you bring your own fruity drink. It is a gala, so, from the waist up, look like you're dressed up. And then, where you could wear your pajama pants. I mean, nobody.
And I have my favorite pajama bottoms that I wear all the time when I'm going to be on. And the other day, David came in and said, "You want to go grab some lunch?" I'm like, "Sure." So we just took off, and I got there, and I'm like, I have my pajama bottoms on.
Oh, I love it. I love
it. It occurred to me that I should change clothes, and then I realized, oh my gosh.
I love it. I love it. Well, one of the cool things, though, Sandy, that the Authorology is doing is they're not charging anyone to come to their gala, but they are asking for donations to kind of help keep Authorology going and resources that they have provided. So, I mean, it's free to come party with us, but a donation would be nice to keep it going. So
are you going to be like playing games and stuff like that, or just talking and visiting? Or
we have a whole thing planned. We actually made a video talking about exes. My ex-husband, Mike Brady, technology guru, actually put the video together. We sent him all the snippets. He did a fantastic job. I mean, the man really does a great job when it comes to tech stuff.
He does. He really does.
He is amazing. And so he put our video together. I mean, it just looks really great. It looks really great. So yeah, it pays off to be nice to your ex.
I think I may have to just come see what y'all are doing tomorrow night. I know Amy is going to be doing something, but I didn't even think about people.
He is the MC. He's going to be running the show. So,
Yeah.
And I know she'll do a great
just goes. You guys know me. We'll see what corny little crazy thing come out of my mouth. So
you're awesome. What are you talking about?
And I'll be drinking. So it's like, there's just good luck. Good luck.
That's true. She gets to be a lot of fun when she's drinking wine.
Oh yes. I'm totally gonna do my mimosas because that's my drink of choice.
They're good. Those mimosas are good. I'll probably have an amaretto sour. Those are my favorite.
What is it? Oh, amaretto sour.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I have a bottle of champagne left over from New Year's, and I love champagne. Back when David and I used to go out and would go partying and stuff, he would always say, when I see them bring out the champagne, I know my drinking is over because you always put in there.
Oh, I love it.
Yeah, but I really don't drink anymore. It's just my own personal choice, but I may have to do that. So
I really don't drink very much because, being diabetic, you have to really be careful with that. But every so often, if I'm going to be spending a whole Sunday writing or, sometimes Friday afternoons, it's our writer's room, I will have me a mimosa because it's just, I don't know. I just write better when I have champagne with a little bit of orange juice in it. Mm-hmm. I just do.
Hey, I get it.
The doctorate with orange juice. Just I normally don't keep orange juice here, and I don't drink champagne that often. But on New Year's I do. But the funny thing is, this year David went to bed and I couldn't get the cork of the champagne.
Oh man, that's great.
But that's fine. That was absolutely fine. So we just mentioned a couple of times that we're going to talk exes. So let me just say that every Friday when we have this podcast, we talk something about friendship. Thola said hi on YouTube.
I don't know that woman. I don't know that woman. Getting on YouTube and stuff. Crazy lady.
Your mom.
She's like, Amy, I watch my couponers. This is how you're going to have to work the YouTube. Okay. When you get on there, you need to wait a little bit, greet everybody coming on, do a giveaway, tell them to subscribe, hit the little bell button. You need to work it, Amy. Come on. You need to up your YouTube game. Yeah. My mom knows YouTube better than I do.
That is funny. And you know what? So I was having some trouble with my new laptop, and I had to start just powering it off and back on to get it to work. So I didn't know that they have this thing called hibernation. So I know sleep, and I put it to sleep in the sleep mode, but I didn't know that it could go even further and go into hibernation, which takes it a while to come back from that. And so my daughter-in-law and Austin, they came over to visit this weekend when they've been for spring break. And she came in and she goes, I found out how to get your laptop out of hibernation. I'm like, now she is like not even as technology savvy as me. And that's saying something. I'm like, Nancy, how did you know? She goes, I went on YouTube and found out how to do it. So
I love it.
I'm like, oh my gosh, that's great. That's awesome. So today we are talking exes. That's our topic. If you have a question or a topic part of it you want, or if you have a topic you want us to talk about in the future, let us know. All to do with friendship. There's so many things that friendship means, and so many things we could talk about. But today we are talking about exes, like your ex-husband. And Ferd just said she's friends with her ex-husband, Mike.
I sure am. I was actually thinking, when you guys sent the topic, I was like, I actually am friends with pretty much all my exes except for 2.
Uh-huh.
There's 2 that unfortunately, the relationship just ended the way it ended, and we could not move.
Are you talking exes as far as husbands, or?
No, I only have 1 ex-husband.
I was going to say.
I've only been married once.
I was going to say, how many do you have? Wait a minute.
No, I haven't been married that many times. I'm not like crazy. No.
But you're talking about ex-friends then?
Ex-boyfriends.
Boyfriends. Okay.
Yeah, I have been engaged a lot. Apparently, a lot of men apparently wanted to marry me, and and the bad thing about that is that they propose in public. Most
I know.
And so I
can't say no.
Yeah, I mean, I found myself engaged for a while, and then I'd be like, I don't think this is gonna work. But I just can't bring myself to be mean to them in public. It's just not right.
I know. I wonder if men figured that out. That's a good way to make sure they say yes if you ask in public.
It might be. That might be their strategy.
Of course, Amy.
Amy also fell off a cliff.
Yeah, she could have pushed him off a cliff.
Oh my goodness. I could have. I mean, it wasn't in public. It was in front of my sister and her fiance, but it wasn't like in public. But I don't know. I mean, I'm friends with a lot of mine. I mean, friends is like we don't really communicate. I mean, I'm married with 2 kids. So, I mean, it's like I have time to say hi to my husband. Okay. So between working, my kids, I'm like, hey, high five. How you doing, man? Yeah. But I mean, I don't know. I think the exes though could be taken in different forms. It could be ex-business partners, ex-clients, maybe that you just really hit it off with, but you're no longer working with. Right? Because I mean, all of us own a business. We've all done that. We all get it. And some relationships fizzle out. Just working relationships fizzle out. But I think other relationships can go sour pretty, quick. So that's why I was like, well, we should just talk about exes and how you cope with it, right? Because everyone copes differently. And I think you cope differently too over time, like in age. Like if I was in high school, I would, hate my ex and anyone that talked to him. But now I'm like, I don't care. Y'all do you. I got bigger things to worry about. So
okay, Marva's story is fantastic.
Nice. I mean,
that is talk about like long-lasting remaining friends.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That is a good one. And that so when I met David, He's my current husband. I do have an ex, but when I met him, he said to me from the beginning, I want to be together, but I cannot be married because my wife, he was still married, has lung cancer and don't know how long she's going to live. But I have the insurance, and if I would get a divorce, she won't be on my insurance policy, and I'm not going to do that to her. So he said, you have to know. They had been separated at that time for 12 years, and he said, but I'm not going to divorce her. So I went into the relationship knowing that. And that was fine. It really was fine with me because I was not in a hurry to get married again anyway, because I was divorced. And so we dated, kind of lived together off and on for the next like 7 or 8 years. And then she did pass away, and the lung cancer came back and had been in remission. But to me, that impressed me about him, that he would be willing to, he wasn't in any hurry just to get rid of somebody or whatever. I don't know. So he said, I'm not going anywhere. He's told me that several times when I would be yelling at him or mad at him or something. And he goes, I'm not going anywhere. If you're not happy, you can leave, but I'm not leaving. I'm not going anywhere. So
I love David.
He does think Amy's mean, though.
Yeah. That was me. He can't have a cigar or something like that. And I was like, well, why don't you watch people smoking a cigar so you feel like you're, with them? And he called me mean for that. I was trying to contribute.
Well, we went to the doctor because he had back surgery, and it's been almost 3 weeks, and he's still in a lot of pain. And so when he had to go back to the doctor this week, and so he said to the doctor, I know this won't matter, but I just want to make sure you know that I do smoke cigars. And he goes, not for the next 3 months, you don't. And he said, because that will slow down your healing. It'll do all kinds of stuff. And I was like, really, when you don't even inhale or anything? I can imagine that. But David said, you can kind of absorb it, I guess, through your mouth. I don't know. I don't know. I don't smoke either one. But anyway, so he was whining to Amy called yesterday, and he was whining to her about how he couldn't have a cigar. And she's like, well, go watch other people smoke.
I had sympathy. I was trying to connect with David and be like, oh, well, fill the void this way. And he was like, you're Nate. I'm like, I was trying to help you fill the void. I don't know what else to do. I was trying.
That's okay. He was just kidding because he has definitely been in a whiny mood. So with the pain and all this stuff and not being able to smoke a cigar and
he might need to go and smoke a cigar once he's able to again, because
Oh, he definitely will once he's able to. Well, he has he has a choice, obviously, but he's got all these cigars he's been buying up, these elaborate cigars that he finds out about. And then he found a cigar bar in League City that he absolutely loves.
Oh, which one is it?
I don't know.
Is it like El Cubano one? Because that's where we used to do our whiskey tastings on Thursday when I lived down there. That place is awesome. The owner's fantastic.
Yeah, he loved it. He actually really did. He saw it online and went down there, and he really did love it. So anyway, so Marva said she was with him when he died. So that is sweet, Marva. Actually, when my husband's wife died, and I helped them because by then I was part of the family. So I helped David's mom, and we had a memorial service for her. And I found out later that David's mom said, my friends and I were so impressed that you would help with the memorial service for his wife. And I'm like, what was it? I mean, what was I going to do? It wasn't going to benefit me to not do things. So anyway, I just thought that was funny that they thought that they were impressed by that. And I just thought that was my responsibility to help him with stuff.
I've always thought that, when you have a good relationship with an ex, it's because the relationship was really founded on real affection, genuine affection that is friendship, because really the best relationships that are love relationships begin in friendship. That's what I have found. If you have a good friendship, and I think, definitely Amy would agree, if you have a good, strong friendship, then it can become romantic, and then it can end well. It can end well because you have a genuine caring for each other from the beginning. And it's not just, a romantic thing from the get-go.
Well, I mean, I think the thing that people forget is at one point in time you did love that person, whether you're divorced or whatever. At one point in time you did love them, and so it's like, just because you're not together doesn't mean you have to be like a-holes to them and just be like, oh, you're dead to me, unless they've done something deserving, right? Okay, like they've beat you, crazy stories, like that, then yes, please don't talk to those people. Those are bad people. Okay. I'm not condoning that. I'm not saying that. But what I'm saying is at some point you did love them. So if it ends amicably or whatever, there's no reason why you shouldn't be friends with them, because you should love everybody and have all that. Maybe you just don't love them romantically, and that's cool. But at some point you did. So you should just, be nice to them.
Well, see, that there comes in because of my first husband, and we were married for 25 years. I've told this before. He was a Baptist preacher and all that. Not that that has anything whatsoever to do with the story. But, I mean, now, so that has been 25 years ago. And we have 4 sons. And so we have had marriages. And since he was a pastor, they wanted him to perform the ceremony. And the first time I didn't know for sure how I would handle it.
Yeah.
But honestly, when I saw him and saw her, and she was one of my good friends, I was like, you know what? It's like, why? Why would I want to keep on feeling anything other than just being friendly? So I was able to go and be friendly, kid around with them, laugh because now she's got him and I don't have to have him, and that kind of stuff. It was just it really turned out to be quite friendly. So I can be friendly. I would never be best friends with them.
Yeah,
or to hang out with them, but for family occasions, it was perfectly acceptable for me to be friendly with them.
Oh yeah, I think there's definitely a time and a place, right? And I think when you have like kids involved and stuff, kind of like, what Percy was saying is you may not get along with them, but their kids need each parent, and so if you can be amicable with the other parent, so the kid can be, I mean, there's always certain circumstances, right, where it's like, no, but I mean, most of the time it's like, the kids need their dad or they need their mom. So they don't need to see you guys bickering and be at each other's throats, because that sets a bad example of what a relationship is to them and to, their kids. I mean, now that I have kids and I have girls, of all things, I have girls. So it's like, they need like that example, right? So then it's like, Joshua, you have to be the example of the kind of man you want your daughters to be with, right? And how a man should treat them. And so, because Meadows, interacting and doing all these things. So it starts early. But I mean, even if we divorce, which Lord knows that's never going to happen, because it's not ever going to happen.
No, it's not.
No, but it would be like, we would need to be amicable for our kids. So there's no sense in hating the other person because you've got kids and stuff with them. Even if you're not married and you split up, right, and you have a kid together, it should be the same way kind of thing. I think there's a lot of people that do it really well and they're not highlighted. And I feel like there's also a ton of people that maybe need the reminder, Oh,
yeah. Well, and even just with friendships, like in business partners. I mean, you're saying about business partners, sometimes you have just a different way of viewing how something should be run.
Right.
You have a different kind of mentality. Or sometimes people come into your life for a season and then they just move out of your life, and sometimes they come back. But I mean, I really think that being flexible and just loving people, sometimes it's very difficult to love people because some people are very difficult to love. Just understanding that, just because they have a different way of thinking about something doesn't mean that they're wrong or that you're wrong. It's just that there's different pathways. Different road.
Because for me, if somebody's negative all the time, I really just prefer not to. I'm okay with being friendly, but I just don't want to hang around with them all the time because it does weigh you down. So
it weighs you down, but it changes. You see how their perception on life is versus yours, and they can start to blend together if you accumulate, friends and stuff that are like that. So it's, at the end of the day, I feel like it's you have to feel it out. I'm a big one. If like my gut instinct says no, then no.
You really are.
I am. But it's more like I'm super a positive person. I feel like that's why, like me and Fern and Sandy and like all of us, we get along because we're just like happy, positive people, and that attracts other people like that. And I feel like, in your exes, clearly there was an attraction there. Business partner, whatever, you were attracted to the same business idea, the concept of going into it. And so even if that ends or someone shifts gears, I don't necessarily see like where you can just, I hate that person, don't do business, and like blackmail them, or not blackmail them, but like, block them and put them on a list and disassociate. There's times where I guess it's needed, but I mean, other than that, it's just like you should empower other people. Like, hey, if this isn't the best direction for you, here's some other avenues, or how can I support you in your other avenues? I'm still going to do this one. I think
you don't always you don't have control over how other people are going to react.
Right.
Yeah. But you do have control over how you respond. And I think that's the critical part, because sometimes, you might want to respond aggressively to something. But if you choose a more calm approach, friendly approach, then you can diffuse sometimes. You can really diffuse some
you really can. You can. Mm-hmm. And so I think that's true with whether it's as Amy said, whether it's a former friend or an ex-friend or a former relationship that's more of a physical relationship or romantic relationship. And then I think probably the hardest one for me would be the business partner. But that would depend on how it ended as well.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I mean, if somebody, did something and, whatever, if it was a difficult separation, then it would take some time maybe before I could be friendly to them again. But I definitely think that would be the goal. Would be not do business together again, but to be friendly. So
you also have to guard your own energy in terms of your business, because I know like there's been times when I've worked with people who have very strong ideas about how they think something is. And, sometimes you just got to say, okay, our ideas just don't mesh, and just move on.
Yeah.
Because you can't always be fighting it either, because that gets exhausting,
Yeah. But sometimes it's hard to step away, right? Like me and Sandy are very bad at saying no. We are very awful at saying no. And then when we do say no, we're the kind of people that feel like crap about the fact that we said no, right?
Feel guilty.
Yeah, we feel awful. Like that's just how we are. It's a good and a bad thing, but it's like
But it would be better if one of us wasn't quite so.
I know. I'm working on doing that. I'm working on it. It's just so hard. It's like so hard because you have the I don't know. I want to say the like outside like pressure on it, I guess. It's like I don't know if pressure is the right word, but you guys know what I'm saying. But it's kind of like, I feel like when you're sitting there fighting with someone and trying to like, you're not moving and they're not moving and you're headbutting and it's just like, oh, why won't you move? It's just like, it gets exhausting where, the best advice I've ever gotten, and I'm pretty sure my mother gave it to me, is if you don't know what to say or do, then don't do anything.
Yeah, that is good advice.
So like, I don't know, if my inkling is telling me not to do something, then I'm going to try to be really nice and not do it. And then if it doesn't work, then blunt Amy's coming out. Like, look, I'm not doing this. Okay, I said no. But
boom. I remember once when you were like, kaboom.
I think we as women particularly have a hard time with no, because we feel pressured to be nice to people, I mean, and I have gotten a little bit better at just like, no is a complete sentence. I don't owe you an explanation.
Yeah, see, I've always felt like a no, and then you have to tell them why. And
I wish I could be that way. I really do. I wish I didn't have to like explain or feel like I needed to defend myself when I say no. But it's like, I don't know. I feel like Man, I had a good thought and it's gone out the window. I can't remember now. But it was something off of what Fern said, where she was like, no's like the end of the sentence. I don't know. It'll come to me. It'll come back.
But you know what? There are some people who don't take no very well. I mean, they're pushing, and
Right.
it's very hard to just be firm and go no. I mean, no is it. I don't owe you an explanation, and because that then makes you feel like you're being aggressive. Like if I said no and you're pushing, and then I say no, I'm not going to explain it to you. No, then I'm aggressive now because now.
But if you have to say, well, I'm not going to explain it to you, then that's just like
that's just disrespectful from them.
I know it is.
That's the thing that I was going to say. Came back. Way to go, Fern. It's like, I guess as us as women, like men can say no and it's not like, oh, they're being, buttholes or whatever, butt heads, right? But if women say no and we come across as like firm and no and like, a rock, we're not moving, or a wall, right? We're not going to move. Then like the stigma behind that is like, oh, well, you don't want to do business with her. She's just, mean. She doesn't move. She doesn't wiggle. She's not flexible. She's not really out to help people. She just tells you no. And you're like, oh, no. But I am like defending my business and the people that I want to take on if it's not a good fit or whatever, like, in your business. So it's kind of like, I don't know. It's how do you like get over that stigma? Because you have to I have to get over it for myself, right? I have to be like, no, it's okay for me to say no, Amy. It's okay for you to do this. It's all right. You're in the right, and it's like, I don't know.
I think we should ask Vola because she's had some great suggestions. How do we handle that?
But you know what? I think it comes back to what we were talking about earlier, that you don't control what other people can do. You're not going to be able to control how they see your no.
Yeah.
But you have to stand your ground, because otherwise you fall into that pressure of, I got to be nice. And then you've got all this stuff on your plate. I mean, the other day I did say no to something, and it isn't that I didn't want to be helpful. It's just that I just cannot take that on. I've got enough on my plate. I just can't take anything else.
I don't know how you handle your plate, girl. It's like overflowing.
I know. I feel like you've taken on everything you were already doing and a lot of the stuff that I was doing, and you really have a lot. But I do want to say it has been a little over 30 minutes. We've been trying to keep these to 30 minutes, but this was a great discussion. We'll have to pick this up again. But if you have any thoughts on it, we want to hear from you. And don't forget, next week, first week of April, we will be announcing the winner for the person that will get the tumbler or mug, whichever your choice, from that Amy will make. She makes these beautiful tumblers. And so we'll be announcing all of that next week, and then we'll put it in the comments. So, Vola says she's not the right one to ask, but yes, you are, Vola. We have faith in you. So, we will see you guys again next week. Wow, we had a great discussion going today. That was very awesome. So,
good.
See you guys next week.
Bye, you guys.
Bye.